Okay, sounds good. Let's call this meeting to order. It is 10:18. We'll do the Pledge of Allegiance. Everybody, I'll give you time. And then Charlie, if you want to start it out here in about.
Okay,
Looks like
everybody
everybody's-
stand. Looks like you're all ready. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of
America
America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you.
All right, thank you, everybody. We're gonna look at our agenda. You guys have it emailed to you. We're gonna start off with a moment of silent reflection. We'll take a little bit of time. All right, thank you, guys. What I'm going to do is I'm going to start out with the roll call, and just please signify by saying we're going to start with board members and then we'll work with NDA staff after that. Just signify by saying present or here. Valerie Drake, representing Petroleum Humboldt.
Here.
Dwayne Coombs, representing Semi Cattle Production in Lander County.
Here.
Charlie Frey, representing General Farming in Churchill County.
Here.
Heather Lackey, representing Pest Control in Douglas County.
Here.
Paul Stephen No, representing Nursery Stock or Clark County. He's not here. Pete Paris, semi-range sheep production in Elko County.
Here.
Dave Kuhn, dairy production in Clark County, please.
Here, and Mr. Chairman, if I might, again, my apology to everyone. Sorry.
No problem. Jim Snyder, thank you. Row Crops, Lyon County.
Here.
Bernard Peterson, semi-range cattle production, White Pine County.
Here.
Dr. Craig Shank, veterinarian, Churchill County.
Here.
And our newest member, Brooke Neubauer, supplemental nutrition and distribution.
Here.
I think I got everybody there. Am I missing anybody? Nope. All right, JJ, go ahead and start out with your staff, please.
We've got myself, Director Goycochea.
Then Doug Ferris, Department of Agriculture.
Tara Russell, Public Information Officer, Department of Agriculture.
Shannon Pasquale, Administrative Assistant.
We might have some online. Hang on, Woody.
No problem. We got time.
I have Amara Vigil.
Present.
Andrea Derrickle,
Present.
Ashley Jepson,
Present.
Bill Strajewski.
Dr. Bill, are you on?
Dylan Davidson.
Present.
Present.
Megan Brown.
Is that everybody, JJ?
IT, we know he's on. He's still working on things.
I'm sure he is. Perfect.
Do we have any other NDA staff online?
Sandy Lopez, PIO.
Jamie Thompson, Personnel Analyst.
Okay, that's it, Woody.
Awesome. Thanks a lot. We're gonna go ahead and move to line item number 2 in public comment. Do we have any public comment out there?
We did not receive any public comment into the office via email either.
Awesome. Thanks a lot. I appreciate it. I thank everybody for coming today for this special meeting. We'll get started. JJ, go ahead. We'll move to agenda item number 3, director's report.
Sure. Well, in light of the fact that this is a special meeting and we're now 25 minutes into it, which I was hoping to be almost done by now, I'm going to keep this brief as I can. I believe, Woody, we're planning on having another meeting hopefully next month in May as this
Yes.
weather changes. So at that time, you'll have a more in-depth report. I know every one of you said you wanted to be more involved in the fiscal thing, so I'm going to start with a real quick fiscal overview. We are committed to keeping you guys plugged into the budget and how that is moving. I need to open with starting on January 13th and going through March 7th. This department completely rebuilt a submitted budget, and then we worked to defend those changes and the original budget that was submitted through GFO and through the legislature. In the last 5 weeks, we've been answering a barrage of questions about the budget after our hearing on March 7th. And tomorrow, we have a budget hearing to close our agency budget. So we're going to have a lot better idea after tomorrow on where we're going. So expect a lot more in-depth report in May. We have some positions out there that were asked for that are hanging out. We don't know if we're going to get those or not. We're hopeful on some. And we have some salary parity things as well. And so there's just a lot of moving parts, unfortunately, that we won't have the answer to until midday tomorrow morning. Staffing things, some critical ones I want to touch on there. Interviews for Ag Literacy Coordinator, those will now conclude on May 1st. We've scheduled our final one on a list that we pulled for May 1st. We expect to offer that position the first week of May. Measurement Standards Administrator interviews are complete, and we will formally offer that position the end of this week, tomorrow or Friday. Food and Nutrition Administrator interviews will be the first part of May. We are pulling those together right now and getting those panelists ready to go for that. Some of those applicants were unable due to scheduled vacation to interview before the first week of May. Executive Assistant position was offered, and a start date of May 15th is for Holly Rincon. We're happy to have her coming on. We actually managed to snipe her from another state board, the Board of Medical Examiners. So we're pretty excited about that. And so you guys will be working closely with her in about 3 weeks. Along the lines of our vacancies, I'm really excited. We're getting a lot of applications from some very qualified and motivated individuals, some from state agencies that retired and actually want to come back and work for us at Ag. We're also getting some interest from other state agencies that want to come over here to Ag. So it's kind of an exciting time right now that instead of having our employees and quality people sniped and moving away, we're seeing kind of a trend reversal. And so we're getting some really good applicants. We're hoping to get some of those back in here. One thing that we've been working on a lot, as most of you are aware of, storms and floods. That's still an issue. We know it is. Our staff is working close with local emergency managers as needed to facilitate aid where and when it's available. Most of that aid, guys, is emergency construction of, we heard Mr. Paris earlier saying he couldn't get across Huntington Creek in some places. That's not an uncommon occurrence right now. We do still have some livestock that are having difficulty because of snow. So we are working in those areas, trying to help them. We did submit a letter in February to the FSA asking for additional support and some leniency in their programs. While we never received an official response to that letter, on March 17th, the FSA did extend or issue a new drought declaration, if you will, for an additional 8 months for drought for 13 counties in Nevada, and that grabbed the other 4 because they were contiguous counties. So that kind of opened up some low interest loans for guys that might need that. And in addition, that livestock indemnity program, LIP and ELAP, emergency livestock assistance programs, are still out there. I've made a request to Janice Colvette I would like to have some kind of a formal virtual and in-person workshop educational things that we can get out to producers that might need some assistance and what that might look like. I want to be very clear, and you guys can tell your constituents, it's FSA. We know how that works. It can be slow, but also it's going to be behind time. So you're going to have to do a lot of this work on your own and submit reimbursements, as is traditionally the case. FEMA does not play in the agricultural world. So we are working with the USDA on that. And then one other update, Mr. Chairman, last Friday, a request from Governor Lombardo was made to the White House for a presidential disaster declaration related to the storms and now the flooding that we're seeing. We expect to see some movement on that. We have got some questions over the last 48 hours for some clarification. So we know that they are looking on it at that. And that should give us hopefully some other avenues to pursue some relief for these guys. I guess one other thing, and thank you, Sierra, for the help on this. We did start that NDA emergencies email. We saw a lot of emails come into that early. And then again, this week, we're starting to see some more come in as people are sending us pictures and sending us documentation of things that they're seeing on the ground. We're able to push that up to emergency management and to the local level if we can. And with that, Mr. Chairman, I'll stop. If there's any particular questions, happy to answer those, but in the interest of time, I think I'll stop there.
Any board members have questions for JJ?
Yes, Woody, I just wanted to, I appreciate those efforts, and I wanted to reiterate our concerns with some of the excessive costs we have experienced, and I assume other dairies and feedlots and whatever producers, as far as mitigating the effects of that storm and the cleanup and repair required. So any kind of assistance will be appropriate.
Duly noted, and we will make sure that anything we get, an official response of some kind, we'll be pushing out. And as we get more information, we're going to disseminate that widely. So Sierra and Sandy do a great job of pushing that out, and we'll continue to do that as we get that. And hopefully we'll get some answers in the next couple of weeks.
Very good. Thank you.
Any other questions or comment for JJ? All right, I'd like to say, hang in there, keep it going. I think you've been there a couple of weeks. I know Ledge is still going on. Appreciate what you and your staff is doing with what, personnel you guys do have. Hopefully we can get through this thing called the weather and go to spring to summer. So we have some important stuff to finish up real quick, and then we'll move right into line item number 4. As you guys said, we wanted to be much more involved. So this is kind of what we're doing. We're doing regulation review today. So what we'll need to do first off is we need to make a motion to close this meeting, and then make a motion to open up the meeting for regulations review.
I move to recess this meeting.
I second that.
There's a first and a second. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. All right, we're recessed. Is there a motion to open up this meeting for regulation review?
I, Pete Paris, make a motion to open.
Roger that. There's a motion to open up for regulation review. Is there a second?
And I'll second that.
All right, there's a first and a second. Is there any discussion on it? All right, hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. All right, we're opened up for review. So I'm going to give you a little background real quick, kind of what we're doing. You guys had received this prior to your calendar invite. So I'm just going to read it real quick. What we're doing on line item number 4 is basically for consideration of the Nevada Board of Agriculture. This language is what you received in the NAC's Board of Agriculture with public input. The board will make a determination of whether to recommend to the director to forward this proposed changes to the office of the governor for his consideration. And if there's any other repeal or modification of the regulation to be determined to be warranted, the process conducting this workshop hearing will be carried out. You guys understand those conditions? Awesome. Okay, let's go ahead and open up to any public comment for the proposed regulation changes. All right, do you have any out there? Do you see any, Doug or JJ? All right, we're going to go ahead and close that public comment period. JJ, the floor is yours.
Mr. Chair, members of the board, this is in response to Executive Order 2023-03 and 04 from Governor Lombardo, asking for proposed regulations to consider to be removed that would not have an impact on the business of Nevada, public health, etc. In our review, we came up with the 10 that you have here. And to build a little bit on what you said, Mr. Chair, we will go through the complete hearing and workshop process on all of these going forward. This today is strictly to recommend to the governor in a report that I will issue next week to them that we would like these to be considered for removal. Then we will go forward and have the complete process at that time. The first one was brought forward by Measurement Standards, NAC 590054. It is dealing with hydrogen fuel. And talking with Dr. Bill, this was put in some time ago. However, there is no hydrogen fuel being used in the state of Nevada. We know that there is one program in the West that had kind of looked at this, and it was estimated that if we were to do this, it would cost $1 million just to get this kind of a program off of the ground. So we do not think that this is something we're going to see in the near future. So we are recommending 590054 to be removed for that. Valerie, I guess this kind of falls under you. Any questions or concerns for you on the removal of this, or any comments you'd like to make, ma'am?
No.
Okay. So now the next ones are all kind of in order. 576, 110, 200, 210, 220, 230, 240, 250, 260. I would note that NDOW actually had hearings on these as well to receive public input. They did not receive any public comment on these as well. The reason NDOW did these same ones, we play together on these regs and through statutes. These deal strictly with alternative livestock. Alternative livestock are reindeer, fallow deer in the state of Nevada. As some of you may remember, two sessions ago, I believe, we actually changed the statute when I was a state veterinarian to make it illegal to have these in the state of Nevada. Therefore, these regulations are null and void. What we would like to do, and that was due to chronic wasting. I shouldn't say we made the alternative livestock illegal. We were dealing with captive cervidae at that time. And our concern is chronic wasting disease. And I have heard from everyone, especially the wildlife community, this is something we do not want to go to. We do not want to take that chance. We do not have chronic wasting disease in the state of Nevada. Therefore, we are recommending that we repeal all of these regulations. They deal with how you notify, what your fence construction must be, the permits you need, how you identify the animals, how you identify any losses, again, the construction of the fence, etc. In talking with Director Janae from NDOW, if we are successful in repealing these next session, we will most likely go back and ask for a statutory change to completely repeal the definition of alternative livestock out of the statute at that time. We have no facilities in the state of Nevada that currently are permitted or operate under these regulations. And again, there is zero interest to permit any of those. and we will not be permitting captive cervidae either. Any questions from anyone on those? Any comments? Okay. The last one for your consideration today, NAC 576-340. This is actually not a repeal. This is going to be an addition. You'll see sub 3 under NAC 576-340. The department may, in its discretion, allow for alternative confirmation of site production and waive the on-site inspection. We all know that technology is catching up, drones, cameras, video, those kind of things. And so in order to try to alleviate some of the delays and some unnecessary burden on industry, we would like to be able to amend this regulation to allow for an alternative confirmation of site production and waive that on-site inspection in lieu of those alternative methods. And I do believe that Administrator Jepson is on. If there are any particular questions on this one, otherwise this would be an amendment and an addition, not a repeal of this section. Again, we will go through workshop and hearing on this. This is not a completely extensive list. As you know, we have other regulations in place that we are working through amendments on. Those processes will continue. These are strictly for the report to be given to the governor's office next week. Any questions or concerns on that one?
Does the board have any questions for JJ or Ashley on these guys?
Yes, this is Jim Snyder. Now, does this include field inspections such as garlic?
Can I chime in? For the record, Ashley Jepson, this is really specific to our producer certification, so it would not fill that need for the allium production. We do definitely see the value in having on site. We've looked at some of the drones, but that's not what we're talking about here. It's just that producer certification. And for context to the group, that's when we're going out and just confirming that folks that report on the piece of paper what they're growing, that they actually are. So giving them an opportunity for Nevada specific products and to showcase that we could accept video, we could accept camera, various forms of camera footage to really verify what's being grown. That's the intent here.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions in regards to regulation changes on that?
I have one question. Would that also include TEF?
That was Charlie Frey. Go ahead, Ashley.
For the record, Ashley Jepson, if it's, I need to look up the definition for all those that would qualify under a producer certification. If it's going to be consumed by humans, which it would, yes, if they're registering for that $50 producer certification, it would apply for that as well. So if we could get some form of footage to just verify what they're growing, we could issue that. And this doesn't completely replace staff being able to go out. We do like that one-to-one interaction with our farmers, of course, but it allows for us to more promptly, in some cases, be able to issue that certificate. So yes, if they're registered producers, this would apply to them.
Thank you.
Just a real quick comment, Ashley, I think it's going to streamline the process for sure. Absolutely. All right, board, are there any questions in regards to these changes? So what we need to do is we need to get JJ to move this along to the governor's office. So is there a motion to do that?
I'll make that motion.
So that is a first motion to propose changes and have this sent up to the governor. Is there a second?
I'll second it. Pete
So
Paris.
thank you, Pete Paris. There's a first and a second. Is there any discussion on this? All right, hearing none. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. All right, thank you very much. I appreciate it. JJ, you got marching orders. Let's have our final public comment. Is there any public comment out there in regards to the proposed changes? I don't see or hearing any. Is there a motion to go ahead and close this regulation for changes? Is there a motion?
To close this for changes.
Thank you, Heather Lackey. There's a first, there's a motion on
Second.
the, there's
Jim
a second.
Snyder, this is
Thank you, Jim.
second.
Appreciate it. First and a second. Any discussion? No discussion. All in favor, say aye.
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 All those opposed, say nay. All right, perfect. It's closed. Now I need to make a motion to go ahead and finish up our first meeting
So
out of
moved.
recess. There's a first. Is there a second?
Second.
Awesome. There's a first and a second. Any discussion? All right, hearing none. All in favor, say aye.
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 All those opposed, say nay. All right, we're back open again. We're live. So we'll move to agenda number 4 for this meeting. Any public comment? Any out there, Doug or JJ? I don't see any.
No, sir.
All right, thank you guys for your time today. I appreciate it. This was kind of a special meeting. We appreciate you getting out there and being involved. And then, like JJ did say, we're going to have a meeting come May. Hopefully we can get everybody's schedule on task. I know it's super busy, but I'd like to see everybody's face. So we're going to definitely do an in-person and get hopefully a better update on budget and kind of direction and stuff. But once again, thank you so much. Be safe out there. And I appreciate it. So
One question, Chairman.
yes, go ahead. Go
Yeah,
ahead, Pete.
Pete Paris.
Yep.
Is this going to replace the June meeting, or will this be a special meeting, or what?
No, it'll be an official, what we would call a meeting. So, but we'll keep you posted if there's any other stuff out there that we need to do, but it'll be in our official board meeting. So, big agenda, kind of big stuff going through. Hopefully we'll have answers on the budgets and different stuff, outcomes alleged and stuff. Does that answer your question, Pete?
No, not really. Does this replace the June meeting, or are we going to
No.
have a meeting in May?
We're going to have a meeting in May.
Okay,
Perfect. Does that answer your question?
that answers my question.
Okay,
Perfect.
thank you. Sorry, I've been at the ledge all day. So any other questions? All right, perfect. This meeting is adjourned, and I appreciate again your guys' time. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you all.
Thank you.